Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the UIM Completionist. I just spent the last 2 months cleaning out my inventory because while the overarching goal for the account is to get 1 billion GP to fund 200 mil flashing, we have a way more pressing thing to attend to, and that is the 40s Colosseum, but not for the Quiver. What I want instead is just one piece, any piece of the Sunfire armor set, and that will let me fill my last one remaining stash, and then finally I'll be able to do all of the clues, and I love clues. So that's the goal for now. We are starting with 480 mil, and I hope you'll enjoy. This is the inventory that I had when I first entered Colosseum 2 months ago, and compared to what we have now, we moved from 9 free inventory spaces to 15, so that's a lot of extra supplies, and I hope it will let me reach some higher waves. Because while we technically only need to reach wave 4 and clear wave 4 for a chance for the outfit, every extra wave after 4 will speed up the grind considerably. Managed to clear wave 5 for the first time, so I'm gonna claim the loot. It's gonna be a good bit of GP, mostly proud of myself for a little bit of progress in the Colosseum, mostly carried by the supplies of course. And there is just one issue that I have, is that I watched a bunch of guides, and in all of the guides, the people who are doing the early waves are using a strategy of freezing the 3 Fremenics by freezing the Berserker. And my freezes seem to splash all the time, even in Mystics, which isn't like the best magic gear of course, but it should be good enough since the Berserker is like supposed to be weak to magic. And I read on the wiki that the freezes are the only spells that actually are checked by accuracy for the Warband Berserker, and they splash often, so I feel like... I know it's probably stupid, but I feel like everyone's doing a strategy that doesn't work for me, and I feel like I need to work it out myself a little. So what I do is I trident the Berserker once it's in the middle, and then the second time behind the pillar, and then I use the Venator bow on the remaining 2 Fremenics, and I get hit a little bit and it just adds up. I have 2 free spaces in my looting bag for the 2 items that I'd like to keep from the Colosseum that I don't already have, and we just got the first one, which is the Sunfire Splinters. They are already useful in theory if I want to mine some bones for the prayer XP, but I also have a sneaking suspicion that they will add a bunch of new activities in Varlamore in batch 2 that will also benefit from the Splinters. That might as well just keep it. I don't see myself coming back to the Colosseum. And after that clip, I spent the entire Friday afternoon dying 8 times in a row without any more progress. So now I completed another wave 5, and I think I'm gonna claim the loot because we just got the Earth Orbs, which are the second item that I would like to keep, together with some cannonballs, which are just a cherry on top. And as for the setup, I've decided to eat a loss of 1 more supply just to bring my bow fab, because the main range weapon I was using was a Venator bow, which is pretty cool for bigger stacks, but for shooting a single enemy it's pretty slow, and also it eats through the charges and my amethyst arrows. So just for the sake of being able to do this faster and more sustainably, I've decided to bring the bow fab, and it's been working for me very well. Let's take a little break from the Colosseum to celebrate a level on my free-to-play UIM, because the last one was 3 months ago in March, so we gotta celebrate every single one. Here is level 89 prayer. I know you all love my little setup update clips, so here's another one for you. I will be depositing the Mystics, because the only 2 situations where I use them in the Colosseum is 1, at the start of every wave to kill that first Fremenic Berserker, and 2, when I had a melee stuck, so I can use Ancients to heal myself. And in the last run, I accidentally started a wave in Crystal Armor, and turns out I can kill the Berserker no problem. So I think devoting 2 inventory slots for just an occasional Ancients heal is pretty bad. So that lets me bring 2 more potions, and that's more healing by itself. And if I really need to use Ancients in a pinch, I can just remove my armor for a similar effect, a little more splashing, but at that point time is okay. I still have the Ancient Staff in my inventory, which is kind of an dead inventory slot at this point, but I don't have any space to put it away, so I guess I'll just keep it. Oh yes, that's wave 6 beaten for the first time ever. What a rush! I feel like the jump in difficulty between wave 5 and wave 6 is very, very big, so I'm a little afraid of what will come in future waves. Should I just claim now? The loot's pretty good and the next loot's pretty bad, so... I've decided to stay and beat level 7 as well. I feel like the waves where they introduce the new enemies are a little bit easier, because the previous wave you just have a lot of enemies that you already know, but in the waves where the new enemies are introduced, you get a little bit fewer and it's a little easier to solve, plus the Shocker and the Minotaur are very, very simple. So wave 7 is now beaten and I just want to continue and see how far I can take this run. And that's wave 8 cleared in the same run as well. Seems like when it rains, it pours, and if I just get after wave 6, I don't want to get too overconfident, obviously, but if I just get after wave 6, it should be easier from then on, at least for the next 2 waves, although I have to admit I've been pretty lucky with the stack on this wave. It looked like I would have to tank the Ranger and the Shocker at the same time, and that would have been a pretty bad experience, I'm sure. And that's wave 9, managed to somehow squeeze it in, but supplies look very bad, so I'm just gonna claim now. Whew. I went from not being able to complete wave 6 to completing wave 9 in one run. Feels good. Obviously, I got a little lucky, but it really does feel good. I wonder how much glory I get. I hope I can get over 12k, although I'm not sure. Yes! We're over 12k now. I can use the Ring of Dueling teleport here, which is very, very cool, because I've been doing the run from the Civitas Illa Fortis to here every time, because I also don't have the Quetzal landing spot built, so that is very convenient. I promised you Fortis Colosseum, but instead I have some death runes for this cool ass UIM. This drop will bring my death runes over 100k. Look at that. Look at that, it's quicker than anticipated. Day 3 of the Colosseum since I came back, and we already have a Sunfire Fanatic piece in the next wave, but as luck would have it, I just completed wave 6. Wave 7 is one of the easiest waves in the Colosseum, in my opinion, so I hope I don't eat those words. This should be an easy pickup if I can just focus. We can be done any moment. Yes! Yes! Oh my god! I'm done! I'm done with the Colosseum for now. Maybe in the future we will come back. And I'm so happy it's not the stupid face piece. Oh, yes. Woo. Stepping out of your comfort zone is good from time to time, but I'm glad I can crawl back to my comfort zone. Let's build the stash and fill it, and I am once again a proud owner of all of the stashes in the game. Turns out my comfort zone means juggling a lot of hard clues. These are all wilderness steps, help me. I'm sure you've seen this if you do a lot of clues, but there's sometimes this occurrence where you're supposed to summon a double agent, but instead Yuri just spawns and you don't have to fight anything. And I've been wondering for the longest time what might be the cause of this. And I think I finally cracked the clue, haha. So if this is your first step, meaning you have 0 steps completed on your clue scroll, and then you summon Yuri, then he'll be in this state. After this, I went ahead and did a bunch of googling, and I found this little excerpt in the RuneScape 3 wiki for Double Agent in the trivia section. It says, if the player's clue scroll starts off with an emote clue, the double agent will not appear. This may be a glitch, as every other emote clue will cause a double agent to spawn, so that seems to confirm my theory. I also sent the clip to UIM Discord, and I was told by Sleazyscape that this actually works if you have multiple double agent steps too. So for example, I have a clue scroll now with a double agent step that is at 0 steps completed, so this should obviously spawn a no fight Yuri. And this pile of 4 hard clues here are all double agent steps too, so this is the first step and should spawn a no fight Yuri. Now I'll drop this clue, pick up another. What step is this? Parazi Jungle. Let's check the steps. That's 1 step. And it's a no fight Yuri as well. So the practical use of this is you can just stack a bunch of Yuri steps at the end of your clues and do them in a row so you don't have to fight. That could slightly speed up your clues, but that's probably not worth it for me personally. I ran out of arrows some time ago and I've been sitting at Amethyst ever since, and I kinda knew what needs to be done, and that is Desert Treasure 2. But I really don't want to do it, and then the system update comes out and it's for While Gothic Sleeps, and I don't actually do new content when it releases, so I think it's a good opportunity to actually go and do a quest that will be beneficial because I really want something from that quest. And also have fun on a new content release, imagine that. And since I have 140 unidentified minerals, we can buy back the superior mining gloves that I dropped while maxing mining because you couldn't store them before. And we can also merge them into the expert ones. And into the wardrobe you go. I was happily checking While Gothic Sleeps requirements when I realized that we also need to complete the Path of Gluffrey, but that's fine. That's completely fine, that just gives me more time to fletch some of those arrows, and that is absolutely what I actually think and not copium at all. Pog completed. Everybody wants to know what happens while Gothic sleeps, but nobody cares how he's doing. For one of the steps in the quest we need a brove to track a person, and I had to create a trap and bait it to catch a brove, and now I have an unconscious brove and I so much want to just release it, but I can't. I want to make some rough runes for the Surok Magis fight, but my inventory is really cursed, even more than usual, so what I do to maximize my inventory space for rune crafting is that I have the Elite Black set dropped here. It's my second one, I already gave one to Sylph and I don't know if I need this, so I just have to juggle it while I'm runecrafting the rough runes. If you're watching this channel, I hope that you're getting at least a little bit of enjoyment from watching my inventory, because that's basically all I have to offer. And in today's episode of Pre-Searing's Inventory Dumpster Fire, we have my gear for the Surok Magis fight. This is what I'm bringing, and I have to bring so many runes for the mechanics. I have space for one shark and one prayer potion. So we really need to avoid any mistakes, and because of that I decided to use screen markers. This is the weaken that I need to cast on the strong minion, this is the snare that I need to cast on the fast minion, and this is the telekinetic grab that I need to cast on the exploding vial, and I know that this is high alchemy, so I hope this will help me, because I made 200 rough runes, and if I don't get it today, I get my next batch of pure essence tomorrow. His attacks hit through prayer, so I don't know if we can do this. I could just death pile for the fight, but look, the brove gets deleted. Okay, new plan. I dropped the black armor and now we have 4 sharks. I managed to get him pretty low in this last attempt, it was like 34 HP, so one shark could have been all the difference, and I had a string of very unlucky hits in the middle. So I think I don't need that one prayer potion, we can drop it, and I will go in with 5 sharks and hopefully that will be enough. It's just some good hits now, just some good hits. Yes, like this, like this. There we go, nice. I know that this boss was really easy on release, but since the day of release, 2 weeks have passed because I was extremely busy. So we are not actually doing the quest day 1. And the boss has been buffed considerably, so I'm really happy. This is way too spooky for my weak heart. I got up to the point in the quest where I will be fighting the final enemy, and for that I need to death pile, which means I have to get rid of Brove because he will get lost upon me dying, so I will release you here in your natural habitat. Run free. And that is While Gothic Sleeps finished, and I'm just gonna say, unequivocally, I think this was the best RuneScape quest I've ever done. I enjoyed it so much. It was like a proper Dungeons and Dragons style adventure. I know some people didn't like it because it's a port of old RuneScape quest, and I heard some rumors, read some threads on Reddit that maybe they should have done a better job of upgrading the port, but I think it was phenomenal. I loved it. And of course we didn't do the quest out of the goodness of our hearts purely. The only creature I cared about in that quest was Brove, but we came here for the Tormented Demons, and I want 2 things out of them, and they're pretty obvious to guess which they are. I want 1 Tormented Synapse to create Emberlight, and I want 2 Burning Claws to create, well, Burning Claws, because I don't have any other claws and that would be a fantastic thing to have for all PVM. And all the ancient shards I collected while AFKing jellies are coming in clutch here. I got a completely fresh Dark Light, and if I infuse it with the ancient shards I collected, we will have a completely fully charged Arc Light, fresh one, and I also have a fully charged Arc Light here in the stash, so wherever I get the Synapse, I will have a fully charged Arc Light ready to go to be created into Ember Light. And while I'm at Tormented Demons on my main UIM, we have a rare free-to-play UIM clip. Jagex recently made it so you can trade your Troke tokens at Thessalia for XP lamps, and since the XP rates of free-to-play are so low, it's actually worth for me to teleport out of Ogresses and turn in those Troke tokens for the lamps. At Ogresses, I get about 1000 prayer XP an hour, and the lamp gives me close to 900, so those 3 lamps is like 2.5 hours of prayer training. And in today's update, Jagex added those Gothixian Temple teleports, and I'm gonna be very brief, but I don't really like them. I think that remote areas in the game should be remote for a reason. There is a good roleplay reason for the Gothixian Temple that was just discovered after centuries of staying hidden to not be the closest thing to reach. Also, I think it serves as a minor balancing factor that you have to run here for 2 minutes, as it slowed down killing Tormented Demons just that tiny bit. It's just this tiny balancing factor, and I understand that there is no immediate fun to be had in running here for 2 minutes, but it's not like it's 10 or 15 minutes, it's 2 minutes of a run. It's not that incomprehensible to do, and the drop rate for those is really high in my opinion. You get 2 with a 1 out of 12 drop rate, so technically if you can kill 7 Tormented Demons per trip, you should be profiting the teleports, and you can constantly teleport here. I know it's the most minor thing, but I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. On the upside, it is a collection log slot, so I guess we got +1. Oh look, we got a smoldering heart. That's me when I look at my fiancée Matilda. Hell yes, there we go. I got spooned on the Synapse. And we didn't get any claws yet, but that is good, that is good. I can get my Ember Light and come back here without ever having to worry about the ancient shards. I think this anvil here in Taibo 1i is the closest one to Shiloh Village, so I believe this is the one that Duradel would have used. And let's create our Ember Light here in his honor. Let's go, man, let's go. I'm so happy to have this. It's so useful not only for its usual demon slaying purposes, but I don't have to worry about the ancient shards ever again. It's those minor things, minor UIM optimizations that keep me going. And I believe the change has come where we can stash it already. Let's withdraw this Arc Light, drop it, and yeah, the Ember Light goes right into the stash. And with that, I think now's a good moment to slowly wrap up the video, but not before finishing the last 2 things that I want to do. The first one is to reobtain our Brove. Canonically, it's the same one, don't even question it, and release him at my house. And the second thing is, listen, I've been stacking hard clues a lot this video, and I know some of you have been looking at the stack grow, but they're just not ready to open yet. We're at a little bit over 800 and they need just a tiny bit more. So instead, as a little appetizer, I've prepared 28 medium clues. They are just enough to make me go to a clean 700, so let's hope for just 1 collection log slot from this opening. I already have 102 out of 115, so the chances are slim, but I do have hope. Oh, there's our 1 collection log slot for this opening. I'm already cool with it. Adamant Shield H3. We don't need anything else, but I still hope for something else. And it looks like I asked for 1 collection log slot and the game delivered exactly 1 new collection log slot, which I couldn't have asked for more. The medium log is already filled up quite a lot, so I guess that was a successful opening. And I think that will be it for today's video, so thank you for watching. All in all, the grinds we did in this video didn't bring home much monetary value. We started with 480 mil and we're finishing with 503, but what they lacked in raw GP, they more than compensated with the usefulness they all unlocked, especially the Emberlight and having all the stashes filled. My god, that will be so useful in the future. And speaking of money, I think we indirectly stacked a bunch of money in all of that hard caskets, so maybe we actually made a lot more money than we thought after all. Anyways, with all that being said, once again, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.